Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I get the privilege of sharing with you this Fun Stampers Journey bloom box. And this box is full of 4 little projects that you can do centered around a theme. And the theme of this box is cup of tea. So you get this really beautiful stamp set. There are 17 stamps, including the images and the sentiments. You also can get the dies. I think they might be an add-on, I'm not quite sure. But you can get dies as well. And then the bloom box comes with a little booklet full of instructions on how to make each little project. So this box will make 4 cards, and you can see the cards there. And they have instructions for each card, step-by-step instructions. So if you want to make the cards exactly as you see here, it makes it really easy for you to go ahead and do that. So I'm just flipping through this book here to show you what the instructions look like. This cute little booklet. You also get 4 envelopes, which is fantastic because once you make a card, of course you want to send it along with an envelope to somebody you love. And each of these cards are already kitted out, put in their own individual little Ziploc bag. So it's so super easy to just grab one of these bags and find which project it is in your instruction booklet and just whip up a card. And so there's a little bit of bling in some of these stamps and card kits, and like the box says, let's play. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out one of the cards today, and I'm going to make a card here with you. So I thought it would be really fun to go ahead and create that little circle card. It's the first instruction in the booklet, and I'm pointing out to you here there's a cute little recipe for scones. I thought that was just really neat that they included a recipe as well in this instruction booklet. So I might be trying out that instructions recipe for the scones later on. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions in the booklet and create this cute little circle card. So I'm pulling out the stamp set. I just think the stamp set is really cute with the teapots and the little cups and little images here and there, and then the sentiments. So the first step was to pull out the sentiment for this card and just stamp it out. So I'm using my VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It's just a really nice deep black pigment ink. Now, because it is a pigment ink, you want to give it a few minutes to dry. It'll smudge easily because pigment inks do take a little bit longer to dry than a dye ink. But I love how crisp and black this ink is, so that's why I went with this ink. So I just gave you a little close-up of that sentiment there, and now I'm following the next step in this project and just adding some splatters. Now in the book it says to add some splatters with, I think, a different color of ink, and I didn't have that ink, but I do have Brutus Monroe pigment, aqua pigments, which are liquid watercolors, and I just grabbed a water brush and put a little bit of that aqua pigment right onto my craft mat and picked it up and splattered it on, and it worked fantastic. So if you don't have any ink that is the instructions are calling for, just use whatever you have, watercolor, a different brand of ink, anything you want, and you can even leave the splatters off. You can go ahead and just change it up a little bit and make these cards your own. So you don't feel like you have to do everything exactly the same, but I did want to try to follow the instructions for my card and make it as close as I could. So the next step was just to stamp out some images. So I am stamping out a few of these images with the same VersaFine Black ink. I'm just stamping them out here, and then I'll be stamping my teacups and my teapot with this Brutus Monroe C ink. So I tried to closely match the colors that are pictured in the picture. So I went with C because it's kind of a greenish blue. If you think about a C, that's what it is. So I thought this was just a fantastic color, and I loved how it looked all stamped out, so I went with that. So I'm stamping out all of my images, and then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut them. Now, I'll tell you, I went to the work of fussy cutting out every image, and then I remembered later that I do have the dies. So I could have gone ahead and used the dies, but this just shows you that even if you don't have the dies, it doesn't take all that long to cut out these images. They're not hard to fussy cut. They're not like super detailed like some stamp sets that you wouldn't even want to attempt to fussy cut. These aren't that bad. So I just went ahead and I fussy cut them all out. So even if you don't have the dies, just go ahead and cut them by hand and no harm done. So this cute little tea bag here, I just thought was so darling, and I kind of want to use the stamp set to create some more cards in the future. So we'll see about that. But I'm just gonna kind of cut all my images out and arrange them there, kind of how the picture is in the instruction booklet. So now I want to create my card base, and to do that they give you the two little scalloped circle pieces, and in order to put them together so that you can open them, you do need to score one side. So in the instruction booklet it says to score at about 3/4 of an inch. So that's what I'm trying to do here. You can see I'm trying to cross over with my right hand, and it's a little bit awkward, but I figured it out. So you just give it a good score, and then you add some adhesive above that score line, and you just line up your card pieces and then adhere them together. And then you do want to try to make sure that that scored piece is your back piece. So that's the back of your card. And then you can just go ahead and open it up in the front, give it a good fold so that it opens easily, and now you have a little circle card base. So even if you have your own circle dies, it's really easy to make a circle card this way by just scoring and making it open like that. So now I'm just kind of assembling each of the pieces, and I just thought it was fantastic that all of the pieces are just ready-made for you in this kit. You can just throw it together, but you also can kind of do your own thing if you want to. You can change up the arrangement and the stamped images if you want to. So I just thought it was a lot of fun. So I'm just adding some adhesive using my ATG gun and just kind of layering all my pieces on here. I'm trying to make sure that I get this card lined up straight so that it opens up straight and I don't have it kind of, quirked over to the edge or anything. But yeah, just trying to make sure I have it lined up as good as I can. I don't think handmade cards have to be absolutely perfect, because they are handmade, and I think that's some of the charm of the cards. But, try to get it as good as possible. Now, it probably would have been easier to put this piece of washi tape on before I adhered everything down, but I forgot. So I just put it down and trimmed off the edges that hung over the sides. So I'm taking a look at the instructions to see what's next, and it's just basically arranging your pieces on top of the card and adhering them down. So I'm using a little bit of my Brutus Monroe craft glue to adhere down some of these pieces. I love this glue because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room before it dries, but it also doesn't take a long time to dry. So it dries fairly quickly, but not too quick, so that you can still kind of wiggle things around. So I really like this glue. It works well for me. I'm also going to be popping up a few of these other images with some foam adhesive. And I think foam adhesive is just really fun for giving a little bit of dimension to your images in your card, and it gives a little bit of interest. So I popped up that one little teacup, and I'm popping up the teapot as well. I didn't put any adhesive on the handle part because that is overhanging off the edge, so I just left it. But if you don't want it to overhang, just make sure you kind of arrange it a little bit tighter in the middle, and that'll take care of that. And then I'm just putting a few of those little stamped images here and there, just kind of arranging them. And I find that my Spellbinders Tool-in-One tool is really handy for kind of moving around sequins and little images like this before the glue dries. And the last little step here is just to add these enamel dots, and your card is finished. So it's so super easy to just grab one of those kits from the box, follow the instructions, and create something fun. So I will have more details and photos over at my blog if you're interested. I'll have a link below. Otherwise, thank you so much for stopping by. If you are inspired to, please click the subscribe button, hit the like or comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Otherwise, I will catch you next time. Have a great day. Bye.